Check. Good morning, traders. This is Barry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. Sorry I'm running late, Jack. I was doing some outside maintenance this morning and lost track of time. Uh, Winter is coming. So as we look back at yesterday's action, remember I said that we had a 2-day bounce going. So yesterday made it a 3-day bounce. So what happens when you lose your 3-day bounce to one side or the other? We found out in the overnight session. Looking basically at where we are right now on untested points of control. 67, 80, 75 is the one that goes back to October 23rd. So anything below that, and if I just do this, right, I'm gonna for the for making it simple, right? Because the simpler we make it, the easier it is on ourselves. So this was your 6-week consolidation, right? This was your shakeout bar, right? This, a little bit heavy here, was your look above and go, that consolidation. We've come back over, so far in the overnight session, all we've had was a perfect check back to the breakout point, right? So things don't get dicey for me to the downside until we crack below this 6780 and start forming 30-minute bars, right? Anything that holds basically above there, and you can even see that this was the top here before we broke out. So right now it's just a check back. So I'm actually very small, mind you, scalping long, right? I just got off my desk after at my desk a little while ago. Uh, I have a very small position long on, and I'm just looking up for something I'll show you in a minute. So and that could be the wrong move. I'm just telling you this stupid thing that I'm doing right now. And why? Because we're at this check back point. So we're either gonna lose this or not. So looking back at the ES, right, you can see we had that gap up that started on Monday, October 27th, right? And then we've come back in an overnight session. We filled that gap. So holding below for the ES 68.42 is going to be a little bit more bearish in my opinion. And you can see that's where we check back, check back, check back. So again, what does Jack tell you? The more times you test a level when it breaks, the more stops are under it, whether it's for the bears or the bulls, right? So far we've had a stop run right into a perfect technical level. Let's see what happens. We could just get some frustration today, hold it below, let's say for the NASDAQ 25,845, and for the ES, hold it below 6843. Um, as we, kind of look at this, you can see we had some poor structure yesterday for everything except for the Russell, basically. Uh, and then we had some poor structure from last week on the Nasdaq and the Dow, and we are under that poor structure now. So these orange lines represent changes in the auction. There's an auction that runs between these two lines. There's an auction that runs above it. There's an auction that runs below it. So you can see the Dow holding below in the slower auction, and so is the Nasdaq right now. So first, I more than likely there will be a test to see if we want to get into the back into the other auction. That's my theory. That's why I'm scalping long. We've got a lot of consolidation, and usually you'll get a stop run to the side that is momentum. So what I'm doing is definitely at this point in time counter trend. That's why it's such a small position, and I've got good trade location. So as we look here, and the title of my video is Sigma and Negative Gamma. So this green dash dotted line here and this bluish dotted line, this is the range that we were supposed to stay in as predicted by the options market at the close of yesterday, right? This is 1 sigma. This is the sigma we were supposed to be in. We are well below the 1 sigma, right? You can see just by looking at it, we're almost we hit about 2 sigma down overnight. Just one more block down. Uh, so uh, there is definitely room that we could go, a few more sigma to the downside. To be honest with you, so we'll see. So we've got some great levels to attempt to trade against with very great risk to reward, to be honest with you. So looking at where we're at for the cash market, we closed at 68.50 yesterday, right? We closed right here. And in the overnight session, we are down 80 points. So we would be in this 67 70 to 67.80 area of the chart, right? You can see 67.50, and then the rest of the title of my video is, sigma and negative gamma. So you can see when you have a lot of blue on the top side, right? These are calls, and the red or orange or whatever you want to call it on the bottom, these are puts, right? We are in, where it's all put heavy now. That is negative gamma. That means that volatility increases normally, that the dealer now has to sell when people sell, and they have to buy when people buy. Normally it's the opposite. When people buy options and get long calls, they sell futures, and they do the opposite of whatever everyone else is doing when they're opening their positions. Now they have to go with those, and when positions are closed, right, they have to do the opposite of that. Uh, the ones that were in the money, because they don't have that risk anymore. So looking at the spies closed at 683 yesterday, right here, and we are now trading 675. So we're right here. You can see there's room for the week to go to 670 all the way down to 674, to be honest with you. 677, 667 for today should be the put wall, right? If we end up dropping another 80 handles on the ES from here, but there's just as likely that we go from this 675 uh, that we're at. We're a little bit above 675 right now. We could head back up towards 680 first, and then see what the desire is in life. And then if we look at the Qs, you can see it's a very similar story, right? They're all down. We closed at 632 yesterday, right? You can see for the week there's a lot of gamma on 630. We talked about that yesterday. Uh, and then as you come back through, you lost it. So under 630, you get an increase in negative gamma. So in the overnight session, we traded down to 621 basically. Uh, so we got all the way down into here. We're currently trading 622 right here for the day. You can see there's really nothing below 620. That's one of the reasons that I went, tried to scalp long because there's nothing down here. It doesn't mean we can't go through here, because remember, as we have this sigma going on today, uh, you can the dealers have to sell when people sell, right? So if people start buying call positions, that's the same as selling. So the dealers are going to have to sell futures when that happens, uh, or I'm sorry, when they put positions. So if people start loading up on puts, the dealers have to sell with it. And if they start buying a bunch of calls, they have to buy futures. So you're going to get, as people are saying, deal, no deal, deal, no deal, you're going to get some movement. So what I want to see first is, can we get to 624, 625? That would be about another 120 handles up from where we currently are on the NQ. And then I want to see if 620 holds or not. Remember, below 620, the VIX is going to have to be rising. You're really going to have to pay attention to the VIX or just take your hands off. But I would say fair value is 620 to 625 at this point in time for the Qs, and just until proven otherwise. Um, that's really all I have. Sorry to be running late. Lost track of my time when I was doing my maintenance on my pond and fountain this morning. Uh, and then as we look, also watch for the diver down scenario. That means that you're not going to get back above the VWAP, right? Which would not be a shock anyways today, more than a blink of an eye. And you're going to spend a lot of your distribution between the -1 and the -2 on the VWAP. That's if it's going to really go down with that VIX rising. You can see right now the VIX is holding above yesterday's high of the day, which means we should be below yesterday's low of the day, which we are definitely below. I hope this helps you guys. Have a great day. We'll see what Jack's looking at, and we'll go from here.